Hello, and welcome to another edition of the Walpole Business Spotlight Show. My name is Harry Brusades. I'm the president of the Walpole Chamber of Commerce, and I'm also the host of the show. So the show, as you may know, was brought to our attention to put into spotlight local business owners, sales professionals, entrepreneurs, so our general public of Walpole and surrounding communities can get to know these businesses, these business owners, and get to know, like, and trust them so they can make great buying decisions. So my guest today is Dennis Gervin from Above the Rest Transportation. Dennis?
Hey.
Thank you for coming in today.
No, thanks for having me. Congratulations on the win, by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank you. So let's get to know a little bit about you first.
Okay.
You're a Walpole resident?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
How long have you been in Walpole?
About 12 years.
And where were you there before that?
I was in Norwood.
Okay.
Norwood, yep.
Not a lot of people go from Norwood to Walpole, I guess, huh?
Yeah,
That's what I hear. And married?
Yes.
Children?
Yep. One boy.
One boy?
6 years old,
Okay.
yep.
What's your wife's name?
Masha.
Masha.
Masha,
Okay.
yep.
And Masha also plays a part in your business?
Oh, yes, big time.
Excellent.
Yep.
So, Above the Rest Transportation, if you could tell me a little bit about the business.
We opened up January 1st of 2008, and we were the first company to go legit in Walpole as far as limousines, cabs, etc. Transportation company. Pretty cool to say that we're staying here and we've started here. And yeah, we just started out with one car and, just basically blew up from there.
So what would you say is your core part of the business?
We do about 75% would be airport transportation from all the local towns, into Logan, TF Green, Manchester, all the 4 or 5 closest airports.
And so why would somebody use your service over calling the local cab company or even Uber today, I guess? We obviously dress professional. They're chauffeurs, they're not drivers, Harry. Okay.
That's a total different perspective what people thinking that, they're getting with Uber, they're getting a driver. With a service like ours, they're getting a chauffeur, tie, shirt, just basically more knowledge of the area that we serve, as well as the area in Boston. Driving into Boston today is there's so many different turns and stuff. People just don't want to do it anymore.
Sure.
They just don't want to do it anymore.
And I've known a couple people that are frequent travelers,
right,
that have used that type of service too.
Right.
And it's somebody that knows them, they've used over and over again. They
Right.
trust them to be there at 5 a.m. if that's what they need.
I mean, people get nervous about flying in general.
Sure.
So if you show up a couple minutes late, that just adds to their stress.
Sure. And then you've got all that luggage that goes along with a big, expensive vacation.
Yes.
So I can imagine the Uber cars, most of the ones that I've seen are small cars because they're all about gas mileage.
Right. Yeah, they're smaller and it's just a little bit. When I take a call, I ask how many people and where are you going. Usually flying, I know about what they're going to take for luggage. It's the cruise ships, Black Falcon, etc. Then you're going to have double the luggage. So you got to really have an SUV for that.
So that was my next question. What would be the standard vehicle for the airport runs?
Now we have newer sedans that we do. Usually 1 to maybe 3 people for airport transportation for the sedans. The SUVs, anything above 4 is an SUV, regardless if they have a lot of luggage. It's just a lot more comfortable.
And who are the drivers?
We have 3 drivers, including myself. I don't go out as much as I used to, but I'm still out there. And we have Ed, Chris, and Dwayne, all been basically with us for about 4 years. Dwayne's about basically since the day we opened.
Okay. And something that I've heard that's come up lately with the Uber drivers is the insurance part of things.
Right.
You know, I heard that a lot of them are just, you know, of course, driving their own cars around. Those cars are for private use. Then all of a sudden, they've become a commercial entity when they start driving people around.
Correct.
So my assumption is that people should also think about a company or a driver that's fully licensed and insured in case anything ever happens.
Correct. We need over $1 million, 1.5 million on our cars just to go into the airport, and that covers for us for nights out or whatever, whatever else we do. But we do have that insurance. Massport's very strict on their insurance.
So does your license plate have that like livery or commercial?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
The LV plates. Yep.
Now, did I hear also that the Uber drivers aren't allowed to get into a certain spot?
They're still working on that.
Yep.
There's still, you know, some gray areas with Massport that they're still working on. I don't really pay too much attention to it because I never signed up for Uber. I was thinking about it, kicking it around, but I just think we're just better off just doing what we're doing.
Well, again, I think at the end of the day, when you're looking for something real quick or short trip,
Right.
that might be the way to go.
Right,
But like
right.
what
I
you're
mean,
saying, something that's pre-planned, the guy has to be there at 5 o'clock in the morning.
Right, it's called a contract pickup,
Okay.
is what we call it.
Okay, all right. And so just to put it out there, best contact information, what's the website address?
It's www.abovetherestransportation.com.
Okay. And I'm not sure if you're on Facebook.
Oh, yeah.
Like everybody is.
Yeah.
Especially us that are, you know, over 30. I don't think the younger kids are on Facebook anymore.
Right.
But that's our social media
Right.
vehicle. And I know there's a great page at Walpole on Facebook called Walpole Recommends.
Correct.
Not sure if you've gone on there.
We've had a couple of people go through that to get to us.
Yeah,
Recommend.
because like a lot of people will go on there and ask, you know, I need a ride into the airport. Who do you know?
Correct.
And I've been able to put in there, you know, call Dennis.
Right.
From Above
No,
the Rest and
absolutely,
stuff like that.
absolutely.
So that's a great way to find local services as well.
Yes.
So the airport is, you know, kind of the business end of things, I would say.
Right.
So isn't corporate transportation.
Yeah, I mean, the airports and corporate transportation is basically, that's kind of sort of our bread and butter through the week. You know, that gets everybody still working, gets the bills paid. What we're basically going after is like more, I'm gearing up more towards like the nights out, the weddings, the bachelorette parties, the birthdays. Nobody wants to drive anymore. So,
So let's talk about that, the nights out. So let's just say you've got 3 couples that are going to meet in Boston for dinner.
right.
Right? I guess, number one, the priority is, hey, if I want to go out and have some fun and drink a couple bottles of champagne or some drinks,
Right.
I don't want to be driving. So you've got
Correct.
that to worry about. If they were to take taxis in or something, I would guess in and out, you're talking at least $80 to $100 each.
Oh, easy. And
Right.
a lot of taxis, they can't hold that many people anyway.
Well, even I'm just saying if each couple went separately.
Oh,
in and
yeah,
out,
yeah.
Right?
Yep.
So, you know, that's about $300.
Right.
And then you've got, or if you drove in, you've got parking to
Correct.
consider.
Correct, yep.
So what would be the average night out for a limo for, you know, a couple of three couples?
We have different limos for different occasions, obviously. What I suggest basically on something like that, we have a 10 passengers limousines, a few years older, very, very clean. Those have been working out great. We're looking at about $65 an hour plus gratuity. So you can go out on something like that for just over $300 and divide it up by, you know,
Sure.
3 or 4 couples. You know, you're looking at, you know,
Definitely
we
worth
try
it.
to keep that down. You know, high-end weddings, that's when we use the newer limousines for that.
Okay. Very good. And I assume on your website people can go and look at the different pictures of the vehicles that you have?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we do have a lot of pictures. I don't have everyone. We are still working on it. And if there's something that I don't have, I have one other sister company that I can get them anything, whether it's a 56 Rolls Royce to a 55 passenger bus. Yeah. So, we do have a lot, but if there's nothing else, we do have sister companies that we work with.
Okay. So, stepping back again, so what got you into the business?
Just real quick, I'm a pipe fitter by trade, and 2007, 2008, it was getting slow. We were in the construction business, and I'd get laid off for a couple months here and there, and I had a newer Cadillac DeVille. So someone said, "Hey, can you take me into the airport?" And I said, "Yeah, absolutely," not thinking anything of it really. I did a few of them, and I says, "Why don't I just make it legit?" So I ended up making it legit, and it just basically took off from there.
Very nice.
So I kind of stumbled across it a little bit, but.
Now, we talked a little bit on the business side of things. Now, let's move to more of the fun or the entertainment part. I guess, so what would be, number one, your funnest vehicle?
Probably my 16-passenger party bus.
Okay.
Everybody's with the party buses now. The limos are still good for certain occasions, but everybody wants to get up and walk around inside the bus. So that's definitely what attracts the younger crowd. Yeah.
And the party bus has, like, hookups for your phones to play your own music and all that
Oh
type
yeah,
of stuff.
it's got hookups. It's all wireless. It's got the strobe lights. It's got the regular lights. It has a U-shaped seating. It's got a little bar in it. It's got a 45-inch TV. So it's pretty. It's accommodating to everything. We can use it for bachelor parties, and we just added a satellite antenna for Patriots games. So if you're going to a 4 o'clock game, you can actually watch the 1 o'clock game in the bus and then go into the Patriots for a 4, or vice versa.
All right, so people will rent that, go up to the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
And do some grilling or tailgating.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Wow,
yep.
that sounds like fun.
And concerts. From now until probably Patriots season will be weddings and concerts.
Okay. Now, who's more crazy, a bachelorette party or the bachelor party?
Bachelorette parties can be pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's just the girls in general, I think, that they get a little more crazy. But the bachelor parties, they can get pretty crazy too. I've got some stories for you. We'll talk off here.
Off air for that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I would suggest some of those life events or very important events that you cater to are, number one, weddings.
Yes.
And wedding season is upon us, I assume.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we just got through prom season, so I'm starting to get my head back on from prom season.
So the kids go out there and have fun with that. What would you, if you're allowed to say, like, what would be your most known celebrity that are you really able to tell us?
I mean, I don't have any restrictions. I don't sign anything to tell anybody. I've had some Patriot players, just enough to, just a few, to name. I am cousins with Dane Cook, so.
Oh, the comedian?
Yeah.
Oh, really nice.
Yeah. So.
Very good. Excellent. So how are you trying to expand the business or get your name out there recently?
Well, when I called you to join the chamber,
yes.
That was one of them.
Okay. How's that work for you?
Good. Very good.
Right.
Excellent. I don't make it to all the meetings. I try, but it's tough. You do an awesome job with that. Basically, we have an amount set every month that I spend on marketing, and I go over that every month. But word of mouth is probably the cheapest and the most convenient, way to expand. But I think this year is just I go back to the previous years on certain times, and this year seems to be like we're getting, where all the little gaps that we were having in between prom season and in the wedding season, we're filling them in with, some nights out and stuff like that. So something's working. It's tough to know what works and what doesn't work unless we answer the phone and we say, "How'd you hear about us?" Sometimes I get it and sometimes I can't. But all of that, it's tough. Getting.
Do you pretty much try to just concentrate in Walpole or surrounding towns?
No. I mean, we expand. I mean, I'm down in Rhode Island now. Medfield, all this basically the surrounding towns from Walpole, 15, 20-mile radius. I'll go anywhere. I mean, we take people to the Berkshires. I take people to New York all the time. And I mean, we'll do anything. And I'll try to price it accordingly. Some people don't like to fly. So, and they want to go to New York. They want to get down there shopping for the weekend. So what they'll do is we'll take a limo, all the casinos, we'll take a limo down there and wait and bring them back. They just don't like to fly. They don't, so they hire.
So the driver will have to stay somewhere overnight?
That's happened,
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
It's not too common that he stays there, depending on what the itinerary is.
Okay.
For that.
Now, do you have like regulars that like use the service like every day or every week, or? I
have what they call row warriors. I do have a couple of customers that go out every single week. Every week. It's Monday and Friday. They'll go out Monday, they'll come back Fridays.
Oh, okay.
That's,
So that's like the business traveler type of thing.
Yeah, we have a couple of those. Then we got the occasion, they'll go out once a month, and then we always have all the ones that go out, a few times a year. They'll go.
But so you don't have somebody that's like, multi-millionaire that, you are his limo driver and you're 24/7 almost.
Not so much. I mean, they are millionaires, but I don't drive them anywhere. But when they go out to eat and stuff, I don't take them to the store or anything. But
Okay.
but I do drive them a lot. Like they'll have 50th birthday parties. We'll drive them to weddings and stuff. But yeah, I don't stay at their house or anything.
And you had mentioned, and again, I don't want to hear names or anything, but you do cater to some of the professional athletes in town, and it's interesting how that topic always comes up when just recently Tiger Woods got in trouble again,
right?
And it was probably a mix-up of medication or something.
Correct.
Who
Correct.
really
Yep.
knows? But they always say, why didn't he have a driver? Why was he behind the wheel himself?
Well, NFL has a program. I don't know if you're aware of it. They'll pick you up anywhere, anytime.
If you make that call, right?
If you make that call. The NFL's got them everywhere. Now, I don't know why. I mean, I know the PGA, that probably doesn't have that, but maybe they do. They probably do. I don't know why they just don't make that call. I mean, it's so easy to make that call. I think a lot of it is they don't want to leave their high-priced cars in Boston. They don't want to leave their high-priced cars somewhere in Chicago or wherever they live.
Sure.
I think that's got to be the reason behind it.
Now, are you on that list, that type of list?
I'm not, but I do. But there are some high-end people that work for the certain groups that have my number.
Okay.
But again, those are like, they'll call a couple of days in advance saying.
Sure. All right. So anything else that you think that we might have left out regarding, some of the specifics of your organization and like what, really why somebody would want to call above the rest?
I mean, we are getting into a lot of doctor's appointments now.
That's more for the elderly, I'm assuming?
Not even really.
No?
I mean, I had a gentleman I picked up from Walpole. I drove him in to the Mass Eye and Ear. He had retina problems once a week for months. I mean, he's 40 years old. I mean, all the, if you can't drive and you're, going back and forth these day and ages, a lot of people don't want to take time off of work. So what they do is they call us. I adjust the price, and, we have a couple people that go into Mass Eye and Ear a lot. The Longwood medical area for, cancer treatments and so forth.
So you offer discounts for some of those situations?
Absolutely.
That's nice.
It's just, because if, say your mom or your dad, you don't want to send them in on a cab. I mean, we wait, like, if we can't wait right at the door, we're very, very close. And, we give the, they'll have my cell phone, they'll have the driver's cell phone number, and they just call and we swoop them in and pick them up. I mean, parking's, $60, $70 a day in some places now anyways, just to pay to park.
So when people do go to your website, I was on there really quick, are they able to, again, we talked about they're able to view the different vehicles. Are they
Correct.
then able to book or reserve things online?
Oh yeah, there's a contact form.
Okay.
That, I mean, it's not high-end, super, super professional. I am working on it. I've had it for a couple years. I think the rule of thumb is you upgrade it every couple of years, and I'm looking into that. But it's got everything that you need to, contact, forms and everything like that. Yeah, they can. And
again, your wife's name?
Marsha.
Now, is Marsha doing a lot of behind-the-scenes work regarding the marketing?
Yeah, she does a lot of the booking. She'll do all the invoicing. The run the credit cards at night. I do. If I have to go out, I do. Driving. I don't do it too much anymore, but if I have to, I will. She doesn't really like the out driving part of it, but she does a lot of it.
So, again, as you've been doing this 8 years now, almost?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, have a lot of those customers become regulars for you?
Oh, absolutely.
You're always getting that.
Absolutely. Yep.
Okay, and that's great. That really shows, that you are doing a great job.
I mean, I try. I do call. I'll call customers if I don't see a certain customer. Like, say they take 7 or 8 times. I'll drop them a call, and the drivers know I'll drop them a call and say, "Hey, you got any concerns? Is there anything that you think I should upgrade?" And they'll have some decent ideas. Nothing that the other limo companies don't have. Just like different quirks that we have that they like.
Do you offer like anything? Like, is there water bottles or?
Oh yeah, we'll have water bottles in the car. A lot of people, believe it or not, a lot of people don't even use them. They don't grab them. Sometimes I have like butterscotch candies, but a lot of people don't eat the candy, so we kind of got away from the candy a little bit. One of the things that we used to do was a newspaper in the back. People don't even really read the newspaper anymore, to be honest with you. So it wasn't a money thing. It just, sure. I'd see it folded up, 2 or 3 days. They both folded up the way I put them in the car. So I just, we kind of got away from that. But we have like wireless, we have antennas that you can hook up. A lot of people get on the computer and they won't even talk. Now,
are you able to, or do you mail out like a lot of direct mail and follow up to your clientele? That's a good way to keep in front of them.
Oh, absolutely. I have a business card, postcard that we mail out, and I do flyers as well. I don't think flyers are as professional, but they get the point across, and I can hit 18, 19 to 20,000 people. With the business cards, the expanded business cards, the postcards, they can be a little pricey. Mm-hmm. So I try to do those. I try to do maybe 100 every other week or something. We try to mail those out.
So when you do the flyers, you talking like the insert in the Hometown
Correct.
Weekly?
Yes. Yes.
How much does that run, if I can ask?
It's about $300 to get them all printed, and they're very inexpensive to do it. It's I think they're about maybe a couple $100 for like size like Medfield. Walpole's more because more,
Sure. Yeah, I mean, there's 24,000 people in Walpole, but there isn't
like 12 or something.
Yeah,
in
it's
Medfield,
about 12.
Yeah.
Well, I'm saying as far as actual households.
Correct.
That it gets mailed to.
Correct.
I think it's around 10,000.
Yes.
That sounds high too.
Yeah.
Maybe it's around 8,000.
I mean, it is definitely pricey. You try to do what works.
No, actually, I think that's pretty cost effective.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and if you get one job out of it.
If you put an ad in the Hometown Weekly, how much is that going to cost you?
That's pretty cheap. That's about $60 to $75 a week.
But you do the classified.
It's the same. What I do is I try to keep my logo the same, and so when they see the logo, it's kind of stuck in their head a little bit. So I use a business card for everything. My business card, my logo, even on the cars, the logos are all the same.
Oh, nice.
And and I keep the colors the same, the black with the silver,
okay.
And the drivers wear the same thing. We don't really like the suit coat. They can't really drive. They're kind of tied up in here. So we have a coat that I wear, and it says above the rest transportation on it. So these day and ages, if I was go pick up your daughter at the airport at 11, 12 o'clock at night, it says the name right on it. Now a lot of companies, they have the blazer, which looks nice. There's no way around it, but it basically, I think they feel more comfortable walking up to us knowing that the name is on the
Correct.
jacket.
No, I agree. Yeah.
So I try to keep that all the same, try to be uniform.
All right. So again, it's abovetherest.com.
Above the Rest Transportation.com.
Transportation.com.
Yep.
And you can find that through the internet. Do you do any other advertising, like you in the local Green Book?
We're looking into the Green Book. I do Facebook. I have specials every month on Facebook that we try to do. I'm exploring some other options.
Great. And lastly, any hobbies?
I like to golf.
Golf?
Yeah.
Yeah. How often
I like
do
to
you get
golf.
out?
I try to get out once a week, but
Really?
yeah, but it usually doesn't happen.
Do you have a handicap?
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Okay. All right. Well, it was great having you on today.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
I think you offer a great service, and you're a great guy, and I've known you for a couple years now through the chamber.
Right. Yeah.
So
any questions, you can fill out the form or call the office, and if we don't get right, if no one's answering the phone, we'll get right back to you.
Great. All right. Well, thank you.
All right. Thank you so much.
Appreciate having you on.
You too.
And,
you too. Thank you for
again,
having me.
Thanks for joining us again for another edition of the Walpole Business Spotlight Show. Again, it's all about getting this information out to our Walpole residents so they can make great buying decisions. So again, thank you. Be well, be safe. Have a nice day.